Hi, true avatars, and welcome to your weekly queer video game podcast. This is episode 65, and I am your host, Zoe Wild. I am a transgender and bisexual woman, and my pronouns are she, her. So, this episode is being recorded in advance of the holiday season. I don't want to bother my guests, or myself, honestly, over the holidays. So we're getting this episode out of the way now, and we'll be back in January with all the news and everything else. So this episode is just going to be very conversational, and we're going to be basically talking about the year in review, or as I like to call it, the queer in review. And this week, I'm joined by three guests. First up, we have Zoe Straw. Zoe is a trans woman and game developer whose pronouns are she, her. Hi, Zoe. How are you?
I'm really good. I actually would have been cool with recording during the holidays because I basically just have a couple of weeks off. I'm not going anywhere. I mean, I have some great plans, but I love Christmas. I'm not religious, but, you know, kind of just growing up, the superficial affectations of Christmas. I love me by Santa and elves and stuff.
That's fair. Well, Zoe has just been booked in for 3 more podcast recordings over the Christmas break. Next up, we have Ekamy.
I'm probably
poor Ekamy,
down.
actually. She's been doomed to appear in most of the December episodes so far, and it's not slowing down. Ekamy is a pansexual woman and streamer of all things games, cooking, and book club. Ekamy's pronouns are also she, her, and given that we've heard from Ekamy a lot this month, she's fine, we're moving on.
Oh my god! Vicious!
Also, you're hearing a laughter in the background. That's Lloyd, sir. Lloyd is a trans man and variety streamer on Twitch. No, we're not going back to Ekamy. Lloyd's pronouns are he, him, which are thankfully different, since this is supposed to be a diverse podcast, so he checks a couple boxes for us today. How are you, Lloyd?
I'm good. My partner was like, man, I didn't think they were going to have you on. It's been a while. But no, I'm good. I actually got into doing my own gel nails, so that's been really exciting.
Those look really cute.
Yeah,
thank you.
I noticed it when we were chatting before. They're really cute.
Yeah, I was chatting a little bit before, but I'm rediscovering things that I was afraid to do earlier in my transition, growing out my hair, doing my nails, so we'll see what else Lloyd does, but that's what I'm up to.
You know, that's actually a really... Sorry to cut you off, Zoe. I just want to say, like, I've also been, like, getting to a point in my transition where I'm, like, more comfortable being more of a tomboy, which was always my goal. But I feel I had to overcompensate to pass. And this year, I don't want to say I passed because I don't think I do in traditional sense. I know my voice doesn't, but I've been gendered correctly significantly more this year. And so I feel a lot more comfortable in my body now, just, like, being a little more mask. In a lot of the stuff that I like to way that I am and do and stuff like that, I'm less self-conscious about making sure that, like, oh, I got to make sure, like, my nails are painted or, like, my hair is perfect or, like, lots of makeup. So, anyway, I love that for you. I love that for us. Zoe, you were going to say something and then I just monologued.
I had
You've been on the
related...
podcast enough. Amy, you're not going to talk today.
I had like a related, like, very wholesome interaction where last Thursday I had a person who was like a baby trans who I met when they were a cross-dresser, but it's like there was more there. And then I had her over to my place, and it was literally her first time meeting anyone face-to-face, like, in girl mode.
Aww.
And so basically, the whole, like, oh, stuff that, like, you know, we were afraid to do, but, like, she was afraid to go out because she was still very, very nervous. And so we ended up just, like, drinking beer and watching Die Hard.
Nice.
And, like, but she was also like, oh my god, I could just do this stuff as a girl. And I'm like, yes, you can just do these things as a girl. It's fine.
Yeah.
Love that.
I remember the first time I went out in girl, like, in girl mode, and all I did is I walked really far, actually, and I was so nervous. I was so self-conscious. I was like, holy crap, it's actually happening. I remember a woman stopped for her car for me as I crossed the street, and she kind of, like, smiled at me. I feel like she could, like, tell, like, oh, hey, you're a baby tran. But then I went and met actually Graham, who's been on the podcast before. Went and met Graham, and we got donuts. And donuts are, like, my favorite, like, snack in the whole, like, treat in the whole world. I love donuts. If I start talking about donuts, I won't stop, so I'm gonna stop there. But we went and got donuts, and it was the most normal thing. We just had a conversation, we had donuts, I was in girl mode, and that was, like, the first time I felt kind of, like, at ease. So it was a good first outing. I'm glad you could give that to your friend, Zoe, because that's really important.
I'm seeing her again tomorrow, and she's coming over again, but we're going to go to a local queer bar that is like a 10-minute walk away, and it's then going to be her first time ever being out in public girl mode.
Wow.
I'm turning the temperature up.
Amy, be quiet. Lloyd, do you have a story about your...
Oh my god!
I'm joking. I'm joking. For listeners,
This is the Silence Ekamy podcast.
Amy's like, why did you bring me on?
I don't.
I'm trying to I can't remember the quote, but it's like when you get mic time and you're like, Ekamy's the best streamer of all time, and then calls her back out.
Yeah. Nah, it's cool. It's fine.
Yeah, streamer of the week in our midst. We're trying to not give the celebrity
my
the
God.
ego boost because her ego has been inflating week to week.
Yeah,
ever since-
at every Discord message I send out, I just gotta mention, hey, I was a few weeks ago streamer of the week. Did you know that? No, I'm kidding.
Update the email
The whole
signature.
True Avatars Discord is just Ekamy talking about how she's been streamer of the week. As you can imagine, Lloyd is sick of her crap.
I honestly wouldn't have known if Zoe didn't. She's been so modest.
Wait, me Zoe or Zoe?
So I forgot
No,
to
there's
ask
a third
before.
Zoe, actually. Believe it or
Forgot
not.
to ask before we
Secret
started.
third option.
How
I pay so little attention.
how do we want to do this? Do you want different nicknames, the last names? How are we feeling?
No, it's way more fun if it's confusing.
Gotcha. Vibes. Got
Sorry, audio listeners.
We tried to get Amy Lynn on as well so we could make it really, really confusing. And Lloyd, I've been hunting
Well-
for another Lloyd. I've been
If you
hunting.
if you find another Lloyd that's in the community, impressive.
I could do a silly accent, like, oh, pardon me, it's Zoe here. Pip, pip, cheerio.
Fuck Mickey Mouse.
I was just gonna say I heard a Mickey Mouse in there.
Actually, I was going to say, it sounds like the Family Guy version of Minnie Mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, governor, it's Zoe here.
Going back to the Lloyd trans man thing, I feel like there's not a lot of trans men that want the name Lloyd. I feel like that's... Zoe is a very popular trans girl name. But I feel like Lloyd is, not at the top of the list of... Oh, again, I'm not tuned into the trans man scene, but, what are the names, Lloyd?
So what's really funny is
Yeah, what are the names?
not everyone, right? Everyone's an individual with their own experiences, but it's pretty common for
Yeah, but what are the names?
but what are the names? But
It's not like the Buzz Lightyear thing where it's everyone is named Lily, right?
Lily, Sophie, Zoe, Amy, Sarah.
Oh, is Amy popular? Oh, okay, fair enough.
there's usually
Well, what do you think? We have
one syllable
I know an
names,
Amy Lynn,
real
fair.
common. One syllable names. I'm trying to think of I think Nate.
Nate.
I know a Nate. I know a trans man, Nate. Yeah.
Okay. Funny enough, I almost was Carl. I was trying Carl for a
Oh,
while.
interesting.
I'm
I
really
don't
glad
know.
you went with Lloyd.
About it.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Hey, yo, I'm a freaking man, yo.
Carl Weezer, actually,
But-
from Jimmy Neutron, even better.
Oh, yeah. If you'd chosen Carl, we could make the Carl jokes, damn it, Carl, from the meme.
Oh,
Every time
actually-
you say something, we could
Yeah.
give you crap about it.
Carl.
Well, what's
Carl.
worse is I picked Lloyd, and I was like, okay, fine. This is a good one. I like this.
Fine.
I wanted it. I did pick this. So as soon as I picked it, the Lloyd Lego movie was going around. and I was
Lloyd,
like,
yeah,
I gotta
the
pick another
Ninjago
one. I
movie,
can't.
yeah.
I gotta pick another one.
You're gonna be Lloyd for life.
Carl from Jimmy Neutron is an interesting one because he's kind of coded as the archetypal nerd, but the main character is Jimmy Neutron.
He's not a
true.
good nerd. He's a nerd in spirit.
He's a bad nerd because Jimmy Neutron is making spaceships and stuff.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
they all have their own hyperfixations. Carl's is just llamas.
he has special interests.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe it's-
Ultra Lord.
Yeah.
Shane, this is the 7th week in
Shane.
class you've shown off Ultra Lord.
Yeah.
Sheen. I think all three of them are just
Sheen, right.
different.
Oh, yeah, what did I say?
Shane.
You said
Close enough.
Shane? I wasn't gonna
Oh,
bully you,
God.
but now we're here.
You should bully me. I bullied you guys the whole friggin' opening of the podcast. I can take the heat.
But yeah,
I hear typing
could
like
guess.
someone's googling how to bully me specifically.
I'm telling my friend. Sorry, I'm on a podcast right now. I can't talk.
Sorry, I'm in high demand.
Okay, we do have to get on with the actual. We can.
You know what,
We
this
can.
is
You
fair.
know.
Yeah.
Shoot the crap about the actual games, but
Yep.
this week we're going to look back on 2025, both for the podcast and for queer gaming as a whole. It has been an eventful year, and if anyone remembers last year's episode for 2024, this one is going to be a little bit different. Last year was very structured. Last year, the podcast was new in the fall, so I had to go back through January to August and figure out what everything I'd missed for that year to kind of recap it. We're not going to do that this year. If people want to hear what went on this year, you can actually go back to listen to the entire year of episodes. There's 52 whole episodes we did this year. It's great. Go listen to them.
Was I on that one?
No, you were not. I think it was the Amy's.
Yep.
Cool.
And I think we were going to have Graham, but then Graham couldn't at last minute, and thankfully he couldn't, because if Graham had been on, that's the recipe for all four of us just never shutting up.
Yeah, we'll just keep talking. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a 5-hour podcast, and it would have only ended because I would have ended the file.
Anyway,
The
internet would have run out of space.
Yeah. That is that. All that said, though, this will just be just more of like a kind of a catch-all, like reminiscing kind of episode. I'm gonna go kind of like talk about some of the milestones the podcast did this year, because of which there were many. But yeah, we're just going to kind of cherry pick a few of our favorite moments. However, before we jump into all of that, I do have a few quick favors to ask of you, true avatars, as I try to ask every week. I think I missed episode 63's ask, but every episode otherwise has had one of these. If you like this podcast, please leave a comment, rating, or review on your preferred podcast platform. I know I say this every week, but this actually is really helpful if you guys can go do this. Especially at the end of the year, we're in the holiday spirit, we're feeling like we're giving to each other. Go leave a comment, rating, or review. Spotify has ratings and comments, while Apple has reviews. Engagement, like comments, ratings, and reviews does help to grow the podcast, believe it or not. And a growing podcast means a happy podcast host, that's me, who is forever happy and fulfilled that you enjoy listening to her show, that is to say, her ramblings. And then that creates an infinite feedback loop of more episodes, more happiness, more episodes, and so forth. Eventually, if it's exponential, there'll be an episode every 10 minutes, which is great for you, horrible for me. So please leave a comment, rating, or review. And if you're watching the video version on YouTube, please like this episode, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. So you're the first. Yeah, Amy is doing the thing again where she's pointing down at the. Hit that button. I know you can
hit that bell
there.
or whatever you kids do.
So you're gonna hate me, Zoe, because the first time I was on this podcast was over a year ago. And I just opened up my Spotify and was like, "Oh, I'm not following you." I did. I just did. I
banned Zoe from the podcast. Also, I'm sorry.
It's nice.
That's fine. It's a good call. Good ref.
Had a good run. I'll see myself out.
Hey! Ixnay on the banter. Hey, we gotta get through this. This is the spiel. Also, please follow True Avatars, a queer video game podcast on social media. Their accounts on Blue Sky, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Facebook, and TikTok. One day, the TikTok will have content at True Avatars, and you can also find the podcast on the official website, trueavatarspodcast.com, no spaces. And remember, this is a weekly queer video game podcast, so please check in every week. I am to bring you news, interviews, and updated discussions that are relevant to queer gamers, so you have a safe space to check in on the world of gaming from a 2S LGBTQIA+ lens. Okay, guys. Now, or should I say guys? Is that like, I know some trans women...
I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all.
Well, I'll call you True Avatars anyway. So, True Avatars. This is very loosey-goosey, so...
Homies is my go-to gender neutral if I think it's going to be touchy, but, like, I don't care at all.
Oh, fair. I use peeps, but I feel like that's getting cringy at this point in time. I feel like that was very 2021.
Just a little bit. I love it. I get it, but I'm just imagining how it plays out.
You can make fun of me. It's fine.
No, I would never. Well, actually, you know what? The amount of trash you're talking to Amy, maybe you do need some.
I think I do. I think I need to be brought down a notch.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
I'm picturing we need like a
Icarus
spray bottle system where like we have lenses over our web cameras and we just spray bottle when it's like
when we do the inevitable, like when we get big and we do the inevitable like in-person show, we can have an actual spray bottle.
Exactly.
I love this. This is the goal. This is
my goal is hopefully. I feel like when QG Con comes back, I don't think it's going to be next year. They said there won't be a 2026 QG Con, but if there's one in 2027, maybe the podcast will have enough of a following that we can get a space to do a recording there, and I will drag you all by the ears, Misty style, to that episode recording.
Where did they do it?
Well, last year QG Con, I visited you at QG Con. So.
Oh. But that was Montreal, right? Okay, no, I knew that. I totally knew that. I'm so in touch with my industry. I know what's going on. I'm not gonna lie. Like as a programmer, it's like fandom and like producer of stuff is like. Oh, also I'm getting back to it after recovery. But also that I have no excuse. I'm making excuses.
All right, as punishment for being, or as no, maybe not punishment. I'll reframe. I'm going to reframe because
you don't
she's
need
streamer
to.
of the week, and she's our celebrity in the midst. Amy gets to go first, and whatever your favorite moment from the podcast, whether it's a game. Basically, I just asked everyone to kind of bring their favorite games and moments from the year, whether they're new for this year or they're just games they played this year. Ideally queer games, but maybe not always. Sometimes we play non-queer games. But what's your first thing, Amy? What's your
first one? So, yeah, I mean, I was on the podcast episode where we talked about it, so maybe I sound a bit like a broken record. But one of the headlines that we talked about for the Claire Obscure episode was, which kind of like started our discussion on the game, was that Jennifer English had won an award at the Golden Joysticks for her performance as Mael, and she had a really lovely speech there, that where she thanked her girlfriend and she kind of like made an analogy or a metaphor of like her own journey, kind of like, you know, a lot of what Mael went through, and she was like, oh, my own journey is as someone who's queer. You know, I really, I felt really, like she was really thankful for everything that she had, like, that had happened with her, and she just, you know, basically thanked Queer Joy, which I thought was just a really nice award speech. I feel like we don't get many of those that often, just nice moments like that in award speeches. She also had a lovely award speech when she won, excuse me, at the Game Awards as well, where she was like kind of doing a nice mention of like, for everyone who's neurodivergent who's watching, like we see you and thank you for, you know, being who you are, continue to be who you are, and like, you know, in a society that really compartmentalizes everything, and when you might not fit into all the boxes. And anyway, it was just, I think she has a really nice way of speaking, and I want to follow her on social media now. But yeah, that was the headline that stood out to me, with specifically the Golden Joysticks. Like, I just got the good warm feelies, you know. So, yeah.
So
what is stopping you from following her on social media?
Well, no, I haven't done it yet. I don't really follow. I don't think to follow a lot of celebrities immediately until I see something to do, and I'm like, oh, like, I didn't follow Ben Starr for the longest time. I was playing Final Fantasy 16 for like a whole year, and I was like, he's really good, and I just kept doing it, and then I saw him popping up more on my feed, and he was doing really silly things, and I was like, oh, he's really funny. He seems really sweet. I'm gonna follow him. Like, it doesn't occur to me until it's in my face.
I get it. I don't really have. I don't know. I'm not like trained for social media where I just think like, oh, I'm going to go follow that person because I like them.
Yeah.
Like I sometimes I do, but a lot of the time it just isn't a thought that occurs.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got a demon in their room?
So he was adjusting her mic.
I mean, two things can be true.
All right, between Lloyd and Zoe, who wants to go next for their moment or
Zoe,
game or what have you?
Lloyd?
No, you can go. Ladies first.
This is gender euphoria for both of you, so I would go Zoe.
You know what? Okay, so this is a lot more personal, but I feel like this year was like, so I'm a game developer, and you know, Zoe, not me, Zoe. You know who I'm talking to. This is a very redundant statement. When I was first on the podcast before, it was like, I was very much like baby game dev, like brand new to the industry. Like, this was my first like proper job at a game studio, and I talked a lot about that in school and stuff. This whole year was really a process of me really feeling like I was getting my roots in like the games industry and like the game dev community here. And I'm not going to go over all of that because it would take forever. But one specific thing that I did before I went on my medical leave for surgery was I started a group for local game devs. There was this group that was doing like meetups, and I was meeting all sorts of people from all over the industry. And then I had this idea, which was like a book club for games kind of thing. Like, you know, in a book club, everyone reads the same book over like 2 weeks, and then you all meet up together and stuff. And it was called The Backloggers, and it was for like retro games. And we were playing like classic stuff. And that and just a bunch of other things was really when I started to feel grounded in like, oh, this is like a career that I'm like happy and also like accepted in. Like it took a while to really feel like, oh, I can just be a woman in game dev, and the fact that I'm trans doesn't really come here nor there. Well, at the same time, I'm not keeping it secret. I don't keep it a secret that I'm trans. I'm open with people about my experiences, and just like people are nice. And like, yeah, I don't know. That's not a news story, but that was the most meaningful thing within like the games industry for me, was just like me feeling like I was settling into it. Sorry, I think that's a little dorky and sentimental, but that's how I feel.
No, that's nice.
Oh, it's lovely. I love it.
I love that. I love that queer joy in 2025. Anytime, but especially this year is real good.
Yeah, it's been a fine year. Nothing bad has happened. Shush.
Nothing bad.
Not one thing.
All right, it's Lloyd's turn now. Unless he wants to wait for me, but I'm not.
You're up, Buckaroo. Come on, sport.
Come on, bud. Hey, bud.
A gender affirmation is going to be like me referring to you like my dad did when I was a 10-year-old boy and he was trying to get me into sports.
Champ.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that is the most accurate statement I've ever heard, Zoe. Jesus.
I've heard when I started getting bud all the time from like really old cis guys.
Yo, you made it. You made it.
I was like, okay, all right, we're here. I'm also in my 30s, so this is a little weird, but I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna like.
No, I still get bud sometimes.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of cis men do not know how to refer to women at all, trans or cis, and they're like, "Hey, bud," and I'm like, "Wow, you're really lost here, aren't you?" A little confused, but he got the spirit, you know, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Technically, and
a little bit, yeah.
I don't think it's a gendered term. I don't know.
It's not. No,
I'm not a genderologist.
Cis men that use it.
But yeah, so this year, for me, news stories that popped into my mind that like sparked joy, was when Larian Studios was getting awards. In spite of all the layoffs and stuff, there was something just like a little bit magical about that, about there being, you know, like that's sort of like almost like you into the industry and like what was going on. So that was a really cool thing. And are we talking about just like news stories and happenings, or can I talk about like an episode or something we covered, or is that going to be
anything? Honestly, anything that like is worth highlighting.
I talked about my personal life.
I'm going to talk about scandals after this, so like we're
perfect.
good.
Perfect. But the tier list episode was so much fun. That was so much fun. I loved fighting. It was so good.
Yeah. I remember just how salty I was at first, being like, Bayonetta, no! And then I conceded. I went, no, you know what? That's with our ranking, I concede.
Crash Bandicoot. That's gonna be. I think y'all put it in like E or F for like context. The tier list was like the queerest games, and then it was off of vibes, but it was prioritized like actual queerness. And Crash Bandicoot, I think, got put in E or F. Someone reached out after and told me about a non-binary character that's canonically in. I was like, I didn't have the knowledge. I couldn't advocate for it enough. But no, that was good.
Okay, Lloyd, is that? I don't want to. I just didn't want to step on your toes, but it sounds like I'm like kind of like you're done talking.
That's good, and I'm gonna be yapping later on too. So no, that's everything I need for now.
Okay.
We do like.
I have a bunch of joyful moments from the podcast. They're not really news related or like episode specific. But a couple weeks ago, and I was going to post about this, but I was literally too busy and exhausted. I haven't been on social media much lately, regardless of the podcast or not. But someone did tweet at me, specifically on Twitter, and showed me their Spotify Wrapped, and showed me their top 3 podcasts they'd listened to this year. Like a screenshot of it. That's why I'm making the shape of like a rectangle, because I was looking at my phone. Anyway, point being here is like the first podcast was something, the second podcast was something, the third podcast was True Avatars. And I was like, that is so cool that like someone liked this podcast enough to probably listen to it, like a lot of it. Because last year the only person who told me that was Amy, and I know she was lying. Just kidding.
I listened to so many episodes.
I know, you guys are good. No, I'm really happy about that it was... People are listening to it, and like our episode 62, Claire Obscure, did really well. Like I know the podcast is doing popular for especially specific episodes, because there are a bunch here. I'm going to just kind of list some of the episodes that are like the most popular, because maybe people want to go back and listen to those. But what's fun about this list is the way the numbers climb. So like the most popular episode at the beginning of the year was episode 16, and then the next one was 23, and then after that was 33, then 35, then 41, then 43, then 52, 53, 55, 56, 61, and 62. So as you can see, it's kind of like snowballing as the year went along. So
That's how followings work.
I can also kind of tell too, like there's specific topics that I think people are much more interested in. If there's like a certain guest, or there's like one episode that was really popular was called Lesbian Witches Are Taking Over. And so like, I think I hit the nail on the head with the like clickbait title there, because really it was only 2 games with lesbian witches. But anyway, yeah.
Am I popular?
Podcast Troy. Actually, let me check.
Wait,
I don't know how to tell you this.
I'll be so quick, but please can I go pee? I can even keep the headphones on.
As long as we can't hear you peeing, I think it's fine.
No. The microphone is here.
Yeah.
And I'll
Perfect.
just...
Then I think that's great. Yeah.
Quick as a bunny.
No worries.
Olive's not happy about it, though.
I was hallucinating.
I think this is going to get filtered out, but my dog is barking right now, and she's, yeah. Oh, someone sent a message to the chat. Let me read this out loud.
It was Zoe asking if she can go to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah. While this is a good opportunity. I do have a lot of like stuff I kind of want to talk about, milestones on the podcast before we kind of like go back cycling through, because I'd like everyone to be here for your guys' moments. But there were a lot of guests on the podcast this year, like interviews specifically. I'm going to list them actually, because I think all of them were really exciting. But we had Frank Hopewell Smith on. He's market research in video games. We had Lloyd on for some reason. Rocket Adrift, who made Psychroma, was on. That was a big one that I was really nervous about, because it was like game devs that I hadn't really connected with beforehand. Like it was through another person on the podcast that I got in touch with them. So I was really nervous, because like this was the first time like it was just kind of like cold emailing in a sense. Like I did have the connection there, but also like not really. So I just kind of had to fight for that interview a little bit harder. So I was nervous about it. But then we had Endelian on twice. Nikki J, who, and Endelian did, Quality Dreams Was Be Priced. Nikki J, who developed Quantum Witch. I'm gonna mess up his name every time. I'm sure he's laughing about it, but Tanat Buzayangul, who's developing Building Relationships, which hopefully is out next year. I don't know. We're gonna have to sue him if not. Michael Pierce, who, developed Miska Tiny Tale. Beta Lars, who's developing Frame of Mind, A Game of Thoughts. Kelly Jilks, who made Matchmaker Dungeon Heart. Elliot Rex White, Kylie Shemesco, Ahmed Khalifa, and Chelsea Burtis. Those 4 people were on the QGCon episode for brief interviews. Chris Schroyer, that was another interview that came out of QGCon. That's episode 55. And then also recently I had Unquiet Games on to talk about their upcoming game band together. So there were a lot of interviews this year. I was really happy about that. And a lot of them were in the summer, which was nice. So hopefully I can kind of like do that this year as well. Also, new regulars this year. Lots of new regulars. Obviously, Zoe, you're kind of ramped up this year as well, but your first podcast was last year. But we also had Lloyd become a regular. Betty. Not your Betty, Zoe. We had 2 Bettys on this podcast this year. Devona as well.
My Betsy came on?
She was on the episode you were on, Zoe.
Oh my god, I knew that. Sorry, yeah, okay, we talked about that. That was a while ago. I had a really, really big year, okay?
I feel seen.
You did.
I feel seen. This is valid.
The GRS recovery felt like an entire year unto itself.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I am genuinely noticing me forgetting and missing things just by virtue of the fact that it feels like the last 4 months were like 5 years. I'm so sorry.
Valid. No, you're forgiven. Just this once, though. You have another intense surgery that's gender affirming, and you forget things. I won't be so nice.
I don't think there is one I can get this big.
I don't know.
Maybe if I get like
Maybe
bionic
FFS.
legs. Bionic legs.
Legs.
Bionic legs. Then you could be the bionic woman.
Yep.
But yeah, so sorry. And then also the other person was Cleo, who's been on. Sorry, Lloyd is trying to say something, and he can't get a word in edgewise.
No, I'm just
so
laughing.
sorry, Lloyd.
Okay. No, it's a good time.
All right. Yeah, I was just trying to fill the time while Zoe came back. So that's kind of some of the stuff that I'm really happy about for the podcast milestones. There were also 8 bonus episodes this year, in addition to 52 total episodes since the last time we recorded this episode. I reviewed 4 games this year. 3 of those reviews were bonus episodes, and 1 was included in a main segment. What else did we do this year? There were a lot of scandals this year. I'll get to that later. But tons of scandals, like a juicy
drama.
Also, the podcast had a couple other random milestones, not so random, but I connected with tons of queer people in the games industry, like dozens of people that didn't necessarily come on the show. Just we connected over it and DM'd or what have you. There's a theme song for the podcast, and there was a second version of the theme song that came out. Yep. We launched a video version. There was other music. There's new key art and thumbnails. And now you get to see everyone's lovely faces in the video version. So, yeah. Those are the podcast milestones. Actually, that's pretty much all of them. So,
Nice.
Who wants to go next with a thing from the podcast or gaming this year?
I can go.
All right, Amy, go for it.
So, I feel like there were a lot of really cool games that came out this year that were queer, as well as queer games that I played this year, but came out like a couple years before. So I kind of just wanted to give like a shout out to a bunch that really stood out to me. And the first kind of big one, I mean, would be like Claire Obscure, because of like, now that we know Jennifer English is a lesbian, which is super cool. That
is the jury still out on Ben Starr though? Because like that makeup,
I don't know.
Like, most straight men do
not
do that.
I haven't looked into it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's like come out to say anything. Maybe. I know.
I'm not trying to like out him, but sorry.
No. I just know that it hasn't made like a public thing really, but yeah, but like so that one game of the year, and like in terms of AAA games, like that is definitely my game of the year. But in terms of indie games, I had such a special experience with Quality Dreams Reasonably Priced this year that I can't not mention it. Like, it's a really lovely game. It's a very thoughtful game. Lots of, like, really cool decisions that you can make. Both heartbreaking and, you know, joyful, with the different clients that you, talk with in the game. And I mean, I got to, like, playtest that game, which was, like, something totally new to me, and I had a lot of fun with it. And like, Andy and Nez are so nice. Actually, I was recently playing their, the demo for their new game, which, will have released by the time we release this episode.
And as of the time of recording, it is already out.
Yes. So we're recording on the 16th. So, the game is called I'm Making a Monster, and I streamed it, and it was really good. I really liked it. I remember Nez came into the chat, and I was like, oh my god, hi! Like, I was so grateful, to be able to speak
Nez
to the
is the other
artist.
half of Zorky Studios, just for context.
Yes, thank you, yes. So those like 2 games in terms of 2025 games, like, really stood out to me. And I really wanted to make like an honorable mention to games that I did play this year, but they released, a little earlier on. So I've talked about it a bit on podcast, but I did recently finish Cross the Moon, which is a really excellent queer game if you're like looking for something like that's like a visual novel and has a bit of like Lovecraftian, Cthulhian vibes, a little bit of sci-fi, a little sci-fantasy almost. Incredible writing, like really, really solid. And has some really cool like exploration of like different perspectives on you know, like the othering that people would experience if they're vampires, like they're trying to hide in society, but also vampires who are people of color. That's a whole other level, and they go into that, and it's really, really neat. So I highly recommend Cross the Moon. That came out in like 2020, but I wanted to recommend that one. And then the other one that I played this year is called Small Saga, which is a RPG style indie game where you play as rodents in the kingdom of Rodentia, and if anyone has read or watched Redwall, it's very similar to that.
I love Redwall.
Yeah,
I grew up with that.
Yeah,
me too.
right? Same. I like that's one of my like childhood I love Redwall. So I was recommended actually Small Saga by Clio and eventually just bought it, and that game ruled. It was so good. It had like really cool like a really cool array of different queer characters. There was a non-binary character, there was a gay squirrel. I loved him. And it was
we
just
love gay
really
squirrels
good.
here.
Right? Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of talk about a lot of those games that really stood out to me. And I also, one last shout out is that I also wanted to say I really enjoyed the Magical Girl visual novel Lock and Key, which I think came out in September this year. And I'm not quite done it yet, but I'm really enjoying it. It has some really cool, like the premise is like you're like kind of like magical girls in your 30s, and you're kind of like, you know, I'm gonna retire from being a magical girl, but like I've still got the magic in me, so I'm still gonna like, you know, do my thing. And it kind of and the two main characters are a lesbian couple, which is super cool. Yeah, I just wanted to say that was a really solid game, and I look forward to finishing it.
Nice. That last one was Lock and Key. What
Yes,
was that?
Lock and Key, a magical girl mystery. It's a visual novel.
There's a comic series that I remember from ages ago called Lock and Key. Is that related to that, or just the same title?
I don't know. Let me look that up real quick.
It was like I think like a Vertigo series. I never read
I know what
it.
you're talking about.
I remember the name like, when I was reading like Fables or whatever when I was in like younger.
It is
different. Yes, it is different. Because I can see Lock and Key, and it is a very different vibe.
Lock and Key seems like a common phrase.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Locks, keys, etc.
I don't know. That doesn't sound familiar.
Pardon my technical nomenclature, but you got the thingamajig, and you put it into the thingamajig, and your house
the thingamajig with the
because then you can do your house, right?
Okay.
Now you're speaking
house.
my lingo.
Oh, sorry. Sorry for getting too technical there.
When you mentioned a comic series, I was like, oh, I gotta make sure I'm accurate about this, because people watching the video version will see all these comics behind me, so I have to live up to I mean, most of these are Aries, like that, like, I might own like a shelf, like a top shelf, but, I gotta show my cred.
Totes.
Who wants to go next?
I can. Yeah, I guess I do have a few games that I want to talk about. I'll start with the stuff that is like, I'll start with Borderlands just because it's a thing that we already had like a whole episode about, and like there's not that much more to say other than just like it's a game that has queer characters, and it's a really cool, good looter shooter that I enjoyed a lot. The shooting is very satisfying, the loot is very good, it has a lot of personality that I like, and I say that as someone who historically for that franchise has found it just incredibly obnoxious and cringy and stuff. And this was the game that actually got me to really, really invest in it. It's if you like seeing numbers go up. For me, I was recovering from surgery. Like I started playing it a couple weeks after my surgery, and I was still like, you know, I had several weeks of just being like bedridden, and I'm on painkillers, and it was, I mean, I wasn't uncritical. Like, I still wanted a good game, but it was the good game that I needed that was, like, exactly, like, just, this is extremely, extremely well-crafted, good looter-shooter slop. Good slop, though. Good, like, excellent slop. I also played Hades 2, which I'm sure we've talked about on this show. Not like me,
not
but
really
like
extensively. No.
Someone has, because Hades 2 is it's gay as hell. It's so good.
Tell me anything.
Oh my god!
It's all right. Go. This is the chance to talk about Hades 2, because I got Hades 1 and I saw
Hades 1. It's really, really good. I like Hades 1, and the thing is that playing Hades 1, the thing that I most liked when I was playing Hades 1 was ranged builds, like stuff that was like, you know, like focusing on taking stuff out from a distance. And then in Hades 2, you are playing as, like, the witchiest ass witch, like, you know, she has, like, this mommy witch who is absolutely, like, she's the first boss who you face every run. Because she's testing you to make sure that you're strong enough. And she has, like, the big whole witch's hat. And she's making sure that and she's cynical and blah, blah, blah. And, like, every character in that game that is like, a woman or even just, like, vaguely femme is, like, throwing my gayness into overdrive. Like, oh my god. Oh my goodness gracious. Like, there's Nemesis, who is like the big strong muscle girl.
Nice.
And in runs, sometimes you'll run into Nemesis, and the whole thing is that then in that room you basically have a competition where you have to fight as many people as possible, and if you can, you know, beat more monsters than her, then you will get a really good reward. And then you have like this like gawky shy ghost who just like, you know, is there at the end of every run and is just like, it's like every character is like total dyke bait. It's amazing. I love it. But then a couple weekends ago, I was at a chalet with all of my coworkers, right? And one of them,
explain out to Lloyd. I'm sure he doesn't know what a chalet is.
I was literally reaching for my phone.
Yeah, like, sorry. So it's a cottage, basically. So a chalet. Oh. I live in Quebec, and so we say chalet, and that basically means that. So my studio rented a big snowy mansion that we all partied at for a couple days over the weekend. But one of the guys at my studio, a new guy, and I love him to death, and I'm not going to say his name just because I haven't asked him if I can mention him. But you know who you are. I love you. And he's a gay guy. And so he had plugged his Steam Deck, or sorry, his laptop or whatever into the TV, and he was playing Hades 2. Wait, no, I'm wrong. It was his Switch 2. He was playing it on his Switch 2, I think. I think. We were not all sober.
Well, you now hit every console that Hades 2 is on, so it has to be one of those. It's not Xbox or PlayStation.
So cisgender straight man is playing the game, and I'm sitting there on the couch with him. This is in the midday, you know, people aren't partying yet, but they're also recovering from the previous day. And me and him are sitting there, and he's playing Hades 2, and every guy he encounters, he's like, oh my god, this guy's so hot. And it's like, oh, wow. And then I start talking about, and then I pull out my Steam Deck, and I start playing it beside him, and I'm talking about all the girls, and it's just like, oh, every single character in this game is just hardcore gay bait.
Just like a really quick aside.
Yeah.
It's a power move though to plug in your Steam into a company like party retreat TV. I know plenty of people who keep all of their Steam.
He's on the TV
on purpose, but
he's on the TV. I'm just like now beside him playing on my Steam Deck, and like, and I'm not gonna lie, it's because he was kind of bad at it. Sorry, friend. I still love you. You're amazing. I just after watching a couple of runs, I was like, I know I can do better. I haven't played this. I wasn't showing you that one's done. I hadn't played it in a couple of months, and I'm just like, come on.
You get that itch when you see someone else playing it, and you're like,
oh my god, it's like those mobile ads with like, you know, people like going up the 2 lanes, and you're like, I know for a fact I can do that better. And I know that I'm being manipulated there, but there's a reason that those ads are like that. Anyways, yeah, so Hades 2 is like, it's also, okay, I've talked about how gay it is. It's also just fantastic. It's amazing. It is a really incredible roguelike that if you liked the first Hades, it's everything better. So like the first game had like, you know, multiple floors that you would go through. Hades 2 has 2 different progressions, and you unlock the second one, so it's basically twice as much game. The synergies between items are a lot better. The weapons are a lot better. Like, they're way more interesting. Like, I found like really often like the kinds of build synergies that I was coming up with pretty often were just incredible. Like, oh my gosh, this combination of things was so fun and useful, and it just everything feels so good. Like, I don't need to tell people that Hades is a good game. Hades 2 is just a much better version of that game in every possible way. I will say, to be honest, the actual like overarching narrative is a little bit less interesting. Like Zagreus trying to escape from the underworld is a really good hook. The story of Hades 2, all the characters are really good, but I do think that it doesn't kind of have that like sauce. But still, it's amazing. Like everything about it's amazing.
She's trying to save Zagreus, Hades, and Persephone, right? That's the premise. Is they've all been kidnapped by Zeus or something, and she's trying to get them back. For
most of the game, I think that she thinks Zagreus is a bad guy.
Wow.
She thinks that what Zagreus did,
like they're like siblings, not brothers.
Yeah, they're siblings. So she thinks that what Zagreus did basically destroyed the House of Hades, and she's like mad at him.
Okay.
But also, I also haven't beaten it yet. Fair warning. Anyways, yeah. So that's Hades 2. It's really, really, really good. If you liked Hades, you should play it. If you didn't play or like Hades, is probably still a solid chance you should play it. Do your research, whatever. Okay, and then I played a couple old Nintendo games that have canonically trans characters.
Nice.
Paper Mario
2, The 1,000-Year Door, which is also one of the absolute best things that Nintendo has ever made, which I knew when it came out and I played it. It's just so wonderfully, endlessly creative and inventive and colorful and beautiful. And also, originally?
Well, I guess like we don't condone piracy here, but did you play it on? I'm asking if you played it on Switch because it did get a Switch release last year.
I played it on my Retroid Flip 2.
This is product placement.
Yeah, no, this is my I guess
cool.
Okay,
That's
the contrast. This is my Android based hand. I actually have it like I started another playthrough. I'm in the first town, like Petalburg or whatever it's called, after Rogueport.
The same name as another town in Pokemon. I'm familiar.
So yeah, basically, like, it's a really, really good game. In the I think that it's like the 4th act. You get Vivian, and Vivian is a canonically trans character that is being bullied by her siblings, and like, I don't think that the text of the game is explicitly saying it, but it's strongly implied that she's trans, and then I think it's confirmed in like, external sources that she's trans. I think there's some lines of dialogue that kind of imply that. I don't know. It's been, yeah, but she's trans. It's cool. It's cool. She's like a shy ghost girl. And it's in like one of the best video games in the last 30 years. It's incredible. It's so good. It's just this endlessly wonderful creative thing. Anyone who hasn't played Paper Mario 2 has to play it if they like creativity and wonder.
It's legally required. It's a legal requirement to play Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door if you want to listen to this podcast. It is required reading.
It's so good. It's one of those things where like, I feel like Nintendo is very, very protective of its IP, and they don't want to do anything weird with it. But you had this period in the early 2000s where a lot of weird things happened, like Luigi's Mansion, where it's like, oh, what if there's like a ghost hunting game starring Luigi? Yeah. And like stuff like that. Paper Mario 2 is like, the core structure of the game is very standard, which is just like, oh, there's a... You got to get the 8, you got to get the 7, I think, crystal stars. And, in order to get each crystal star, you go to a region and there's a plot, etc. And there's a bad guy that also wants them, etc. But the thing is with Paper Mario
is
is
having
that
a romantic relationship with a computer.
I know. all of the details are so weird. Like Peach is teaching this robot that has a crush on her how to love and what love is, and Mario is the great Gonzalez because he's fighting in like this bougie fighting ring for rich people while also uncovering a sinister conspiracy. You go on like a treasure finding adventure with like, you know, like a guy who looks like, I don't know, like a conquistador or something. You're going like there's an entire chapter that takes place on a train, and it's like a parody of like an Agatha Christie, like, you know, like fun. Train mystery. Yeah. But also the guy who is like the detective is like kind of like a bumbling buffoon, and Mario is the one doing all the work. But then he takes all the credit for it. It's just every part of it is like, it's so creative and wonderful, where it's like, I don't know, it's, in terms of the writing within Mario, it feels like the kind of thing that Nintendo's more apprehensive or like risk averse to these days. And it's like, you know, there's been a bunch of Paper Mario games since then. The one on Wii was solid, I guess, but like, just the writing was just never like, I don't know. I mean, it's
gameplay changed too, right?
Yeah, I think with every game they changes the gameplay.
The first two Paper Mario games have roughly similar gameplay, but then every one after that is completely different.
Yeah, and like the first one was like really like celebrated when it came out because it was different. It was something.
It's also really good.
It's great. I love
the first one's a really good game.
The first one also has a great sense of wonder, and not while the second one, you know, we're talking about has a canonically trans character. I would like to give the honorable mention from the first one of the little star that Princess Peach hangs out with in the game is named Twink.
Oh, there you go. Writes itself.
There it is.
So I mean, it's right there, Nintendo. Your game is queer.
Now, Zoe, I do have a question for you. I don't think we have time to get too deep into it, but you mentioned another Nintendo game you played this year with a canonically queer character. What game was it, and who was the character?
I bet you can guess. Okay, let me put it this way. It's a really old one, and I was playing through a lot of the classics.
Super Mario Bros. 2, and the character is Birdo.
Excuse me.
Papa, you got it, babe.
Cool. All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry, we should, let Lloyd go.
You could.
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
You got me. You're making me want to play that again, because as you were describing the different plots, I was like, yeah, that's right. It's a really good game. A really bad memory, but like as you were describing each section, I was like, yeah, the train.
It's all good. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's just like joy in game form.
Exactly. But yeah, so what games I've played this year? It came out last year, but Dragon Age Railguard. I know that like had some mixed reception at first. I thought the animation of the characters talking was a little off-putting, but like I adapted to it. I got used to it. But that was just delightful for me. I didn't go into it needing it to solve any world problems for me. I went into it like just wanting a Dragon Age game, and the number of people you can romance, like your options, it's up there. It's lovely. It's gay. It's wonderful. You can be whatever you want to be, and that was one of my highlights. I'm not going to spend too much time on these next two because they're podcast
So
episodes.
Before you go on to the next two, I do have a question about Dragon Age. You said you went into it hoping for a Dragon Age game, and that seems to be one of the biggest criticisms about it from people who aren't anti-woke, is that it didn't feel like Dragon Age. So I'm curious, you went into it hoping for a Dragon Age game. Did it feel like Dragon Age? And have you played the first ones?
Yeah, so I'm a really casual fan of things. If it gives me an ounce of joy, I'm like, hell yeah, we're back, you know?
Hell
yeah. So like sometimes the worst, the people who have the worst things to say are the biggest fans of franchises. So that's kind of been like my experience with some of like the Dragon Age stuff online, because it wasn't, it was different, right? The combat was different. I remember Inquisition wasn't received well, and this was different from that. So yeah, it didn't follow the formula to a T, but I'm okay with it.
None of them do. Every Dragon Age game is completely different from the last one. Like, as a fan of classic CRPGs and having played Dragon Age since buying the first game the day it came out, Dragon Age has changed every single game, like, fundamentally.
Yeah.
And the idea that the series has any real, like, consistent gameplay identity is nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, that was my take too. I didn't think it was like, you know, it was no Expedition 33, you know? Like, it wasn't like a phenomenal.
I still gotta play that.
Water. I have to finish it. I have to finish it. I got it on Game Pass, and I canceled my Game Pass when all that nonsense happened. But
Yeah.
so I need to find it a different way and then finish it. But yeah, I have to finish it too. But what was? Yeah, so that was Veilguard. Other two games. Quality Dreams usually priced. It was magical.
Yep.
Like Amy said, it was magical.
So good.
Being part of the episode where we interviewed
Yeah.
Andy was
Andelian?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was so cool being a part of that.
I think that's
Just-
episode 51. If
51.
anyone wants to go back to listen to that,
Cool.
double check.
Yeah,
No, go ahead,
just-
keep talking. I'm just
there's-
checking. Yeah.
Queer joy in that game is just part of regular life. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, this is a trans character getting a transgender surgery. Like it was literally, it just blended in with everyone else's needs of the different people that visited. Really quick synopsis: Quality Dreams usually priced. You're basically a person that interviews people who want to get surgeries done. It's a little sci-fi setting. Amy probably gave enough context, but just in case anyone's like, wait a second. And
They're
you
technically
just-
called body mods, but a lot of them are gender-affirming surgeries.
some of them, yeah. What was
Sorry, just
I-
for context.
Yeah.
Maybe the other game?
No, I had one more thought with that one. But anyways, it's fine. It's a wonderful game. Go check out the episode. There's Zoe just said the number for it.
Sorry, I cut you off there. Derailed your train of thought.
That's okay. But the other game, Fear the Spotlight. I wasn't on this episode. I think you played it with, was it Cleo who was
Yes.
covered it? And by the way, I loved the format of that episode. I loved, like, everyone like played the same game and just talked about it. Like that was the main focus of it, right? Or at least half of it, or something like that. But it was really good. It was a scary game. I'm not really great at sneaking. Any games with stealth-based games sometimes make me very angry very quickly. My hands don't do what I tell them to do. So
Stealth
I
is
feel
my
that.
favorite genre.
Yeah.
yeah, stealth is like right up there with platforming. So sorry, when we play
Stealth is a thing that makes me want to play a game.
Oh, nice. So when we do play, was it Celeste that we're thinking about playing? And
Yeah, we were going to check in with each other on Celeste. We still have to start that, yeah.
we really should.
All right, that's our 2026 New Year's resolution. That's what we're going to do.
Plays the
I like
last.
that. I like that because we're gonna. I feel like we're gonna be raging quite a bit.
Oh, I'm playing on easy mode.
Oh, good that there's levels like normal and easy and hard. That's good.
Yeah, I think they
I would also
implemented like
play
a
easy.
you cannot die mode, I feel like, as well.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, they have
I would
assist
play
mode.
that.
Nice. Okay. All right. There's hope.
The toxic
Oh,
the toxic gamer bro in my soul is just like, Celeste isn't that hard, come on.
It's that accessibility.
Hey now,
Yeah.
I love video games. I'm not good at video games.
See, I don't think that I'm good at video games, and then I realized that, like, oh shit, I've played so many of them that I'm actually good at video games. I'm just comparing myself to like speedrunners and stuff.
Fair.
the fun part too is going back to like older games that have different leveling options and being like, okay, I have an idea that I could probably play this mode in a more modern game, but this game came out in 2008. What does this, is easy for me? Is normal like hard? Like, you know, I was thinking about that when I was playing, when I started Star Wars The Force Unleashed, cause I was like, oh god, like maybe I'll just do easy, it's fine. But I've been doing okay with normal, so.
I default to hard and then go to normal if it's bad.
Nice.
And it's mainly based on balance rather than challenge.
Fair.
Lloyd, sorry, you were talking about Fear of the Spotlight and talking about how
Yes.
stealth is like scary. But what I liked about Fear of the Spotlight was that the stealth felt easy in that game. Like it felt like a very kind of, I'm not trying to diminish the game by saying it this way, but it felt very boxy and like very much like if you go to this spot, you will be okay. Unlike other games like Uncharted and The Last of Us that have stealth missions as well. Like, you could easily mess that up, even on the easiest modes. Like, you can get spotted. But in Fear the Spotlight, if you're under the table, you're good.
Yeah,
the game will not see you.
Yeah, there's a big
nice.
twist that I'm not going to say the specifics of, but I think they did a really excellent job at incrementally increasing the difficulty, at introducing something, making it difficult, and then once you get over that, it moves on. The first 50% of the game, absolutely agreed. I felt like a badass. I was like, maybe I can play other games like this. And then when the second half popped up, and if the second half, that difficulty was how they opened the game, I don't know if I would have stuck around. I probably would have tried it, been like, man, I wish I knew what happened. Yeah, like,
Is this a stealth game?
I mean,
Yeah, it's like calls
a
back to
loose
like Silent Hill
interpretation
and
of it.
Resident Evil.
Yeah,
I want to play this so bad now. Oh
It's
my
really
god!
good.
It's also
And
really
it's gay.
gay.
It's really gay.
It's so
That's the whole
lesbian.
point.
Like,
yeah,
it's
I like both of those things.
it's not even hidden. It's like the plot point. The main point of the game is the lesbianness to it.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
goodness
remember when
gracious.
I saw a trailer for it, I was like, oh, I might be able to play this, but I think Aries would like that. That would be his kind of game. So I'm hoping that it goes on a sale soon sometime, and then we can
Sorry,
get it on sale.
Blumhouse, like the movie company?
Yeah, they do games too.
Since when the heck and gosh darn?
I think a while, a couple of years, right?
I think this
Maybe
game
more
came
than
out in
a couple.
2024, maybe.
So yeah, it's about a year old now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my Vincent Van Gogh, I want to play this. I'm watching a trailer.
You should
Gotta play it. It's
good.
so good.
And it's not terribly long, which is
Yeah.
nice for something like that for me.
And
It's
it
been on
has
sale a bunch too.
and it has gay in it, you say.
Very.
It has much gay,
Gay, you
much
say.
gay.
How many?
the whole
At least
whole time.
two.
The whole time.
Whoa!
2 whole gay.
2 whole gay.
And reciprocated gay. No
Oh.
pining.
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
even
It's
better.
not like one of those hidden things that's like kind of buried in there. It's like straight up the opening friggin' scene is like, this is a gay game. The trailers do not communicate that. So when I covered it on the
Yeah.
podcast last year,
Interesting.
it just was a coincidence that I thought it looked cool and I talked about it on the podcast. I did not know it was a lesbian game, but it is very, very queer.
I'm watching a trailer and there's a girl with like a pentagram on her t-shirt on a Ouija board, and I feel like, how do you make it more clear than that?
Ouija board?
The Luigi board?
Sorry, a Ouija board.
No, you said it right. We were just joking.
I have to urinate in embarrassment. I can still hear you.
Okay, while Zoe is urinating, at a very alarmingly close time from the previous urination, I think maybe, I hope she's okay. I just hope she's okay. I'm not trying to make fun of her. We all have TB sometimes, tiny bladder. But I'm gonna go over some things now that,
Yeah, go for it.
while we're here. So there were a lot of controversies this year and scandals. Like a lot. Tons. So first off, the big one, obviously, is the payment processors began censoring not safe for work games, which included a bunch of queer games, particularly on itch.io. We don't say EO on this podcast, Amy. I'm sorry. Now, thankfully, the payment processor censorship has died down a bit since the summer. I don't think it's like ramped up. I haven't really heard a lot of news about it. It's possible that people aren't really reporting on it, but for the most part, I haven't seen too much. There was like a little bit of something in Russia recently, but aside from that, not too much. Also, there was some Pride content that was skipped both in RuneScape and Fortnite this year, and it did not go unnoticed by the trades. There were price increases across the board for major games and consoles. Tariffs played a part in this, but so did the cost of living. I think that all just kind of bundled itself together and made things worse. PlayStation and Nintendo, on top of that, also canceled their rewards programs. And Nintendo also canceled their, or at least they're ending their, the voucher program where you can get 2 games for a discount bundled together. There were too many layoffs to count. I did look up a number, but it seemed too low for the amount that I've been reporting on this year, so I'm not entirely sure, but it was in the thousands. And I do count studio closures. I'm not sure if the place I looked up was counting studio closures. But also BioWare staff got reduced this year. Earthblade, the game from Celeste dev Maddie Thorson, was canceled as well. Scopely bought Pokemon Go. Scopely is owned by, I believe, by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. We're going to come back to that because EA Games was also bought by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, which puts Sims and BioWare games in danger. Zoe, you and I talked about this, but Randy Pitchford crashed out over Borderlands 4's PC performance and the people complaining about it.
Yeah, well, I actually wanted to like chime in about that. Amy, you call it Twitch.io? Or
No.
Itch.io?
For when I first started like visiting, like when I learned about the website, I called it Itch.io. I also
Aries said I was a fed for calling it Itch.io.
It's Itch.io. Also, Zoe, don't worry. I have a newly shortened urethral tract. I'm getting used to it.
Valid.
Yep.
I won't get too not safe for work, but also there's other things that might cause a tiny bladder to do with having a new cavity in you. Anyway, Rockstar also tried to bust a union and was successful at busting a union. And then to cover it up, they're like, we're going to give you even worse news in their eyes and a lot of the community's eyes, which was the GTA 6 also got delayed. I think the worst news is the union busting. I don't care about GTA 6 for the most part, but we did cover that in an episode. And also, there was a parade of AI headlines this year, like so many headlines. There were more this week. I don't even want to cover them anymore. I just want to kind of not think about them because it's freaking me out. But anyway, yeah, so lots of stuff this year.
We have to do an entire episode about AI. As a developer, as someone who like understands the computer science behind neural networks, like I have very strong opinions about it that are really complicated. I don't like it, but I also use it. It's
Yeah.
Fair.
Definitely a discussion episode.
We should have an entire AI episode.
Maybe we'll do that early Jan when there's like less stuff going on in the world of gaming.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Also, I'm going to be traveling next year a bit, so I'm also going to a wedding in a far off country for my friends. And so like there's a bunch of weeks where I'm going to have pre-recorded content. That sounds like a good one to pre-record. However, we are running out of time for this episode because it's too long.
I do have to head out. I'm sorry.
Okay. So do we want to quickly each do one more good thing that happened this year? One good, one thing from the year that's worth highlighting? Super quick. Amy, go.
I think, I will say I'm actually gonna kind of build off of what Lloyd said. I thought that I really enjoyed being on the episode with, Endelian for Quality Dreams Reasonably Priced, just because that was a cool, situation, or a cool thing to happen after I'd play tested the game a bunch. So they're such nice devs. They're so cool. So yeah, that was my moment.
Zoe, go.
Gosh, a positive thing outside of the things that I've shared.
If there is one. If not, no big deal.
Honestly, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 winning Game of the Year is not just a big deal because of the fact that it's apparently a really good game. I still haven't played it. I know everyone says I do. It's the next on my list.
Good.
But also I really want to put in context the fact that that's a game that was made by a lot of ex-Ubisoft people. And in our first episode, Zoe, we talked about and in other episodes too, we talked about the unsustainability of the AAA model. And I talked about how what I would hopefully like to see happen, my utopian vision of the games industry that I don't think is possible, is if AAA is really going to break down as it is, that hopefully the people can form smaller, better studios that are more creativity focused. And Claire Obscure's, was it Sandfox or Sandfall?
Sandfall, yeah.
Sandfall.
Yeah.
That studio basically to me is the kind of beautiful archetype of that, which is a bunch of talented creative people who are working within the studio system, coming in to make something that is truly unique and new that would not have existed within that system and being very, very successful at it. And it's a model that I hope that because of how successful and public it is, that the rest of the industry can see as a possibility. It'll hopefully radicalize people to not work for Ubisoft or EA or whatever.
Valid.
Cool.
Lloyd, go.
Yeah, the launch of the video podcast the that was a huge highlight, and I liked being a part of doing the key art. Is that what you describe it as? The desk view of the pixel art you see on any of the True Avatar stuff. That was fun doing that.
Yeah, as a reminder, Lloyd did like the key art, like the icon you see when you load up this podcast, when you see the icon that says like this is the episode title, and you see the desk and everything like that. That was all Lloyd, and yeah, he got paid for his work. Just to be clear, Lloyd did get paid. There was much blood, sweat, and tears, I think, on his end as he learned pixel art, but the end result is amazing. And he also put up with my BS for a lot of revisions, so we thank him for that very much. He has not killed me yet.
I've been learning pixel art too recently. It's really fun.
It's harder than I initially thought, because
it's very abstract. It's very abstract.
You need to know what the thing looks like, because if you don't know exactly what the thing looks like normally, your few squares you get aren't gonna look right.
I'm gonna DM you a video that throws your entire understanding of pixel art throughout the history of like videos in twain. It's really cool.
Yeah, please do. Cool. Yeah, but yeah, no, that was my highlight.
And Zoe, send that link to me as well so I can include it in the show notes.
I'll just post it in the server.
Okay, I'm going to very quickly, before we head out, give a couple more highlights here from the year. And these are actual things, but some good news. They revealed the Steam Machine, which I hope is not overly priced and underperforming.
I'm going to buy one as long as it's less than $1,000 Canadian.
I don't think it's going to be. Tons of queer games at the TGAs this year. Tons of queer games. I mean, tons of queer nominations, not a ton of like individual like unique games. Like there was probably a handful of like 5 or 6, maybe less than 10 queer games, but there was still much more queer representation at the TGAs this year than there was last year. And also, finally, a game I talked about early on in the year, back in April, I think it was episode, I want to say 29, I played Spilled, which is a 90-minute top-down isometric pixel art game that is cheerful, and it's just you driving a boat and you're cleaning up oil and cleaning up the ocean. It took me literally exactly 90 minutes from start to finish to play the game. It is very cozy. The stakes are very low. You really can't lose at it. And this game, anyway, was made by a single developer. She's queer. Lenta, I think is her name. And anyway, she developed this game by herself on a boat. I think by herself, mostly. There might have been a little bit of help in there. But, a solo dev. And she lives on a boat. And so she developed the game on a boat and released it this year and sold 100,000 copies.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
That's incredible for a debut indie queer game.
Yeah.
Well, that's life-changing money. Like, how much was she charging for it?
Less than $10.
But still, 100,000.
yeah.
Even if she's making like a couple bucks from that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even if she made $1, that's still $100,000.
Yeah. I played the demo and I really enjoyed it, so I will buy the full game soon.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
That is the dream. That is the dream.
Literally.
I did try to get her on the podcast. Sorry to cut you off, Lloyd. I did try to get her on the podcast. The timing didn't work out, but maybe next year. There's hope. But if not, please go follow her. I think she's very active on Twitter. So if you're still on Twitter, go follow her because all her posts are quite wonderful. She's like like a glowing beacon in the depths of the pits of hell that is Twitter right now. But anyway. Sorry, Lloyd. I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
No, you got. I was just saying that that's literally the dream. Like I'm dabbling in like learning Godot or Godot or whatever, and it's just like the different things I'm learning. I'm like, oh, what kind of game would I put out as the first game? But that's literally the dream. So it's like there's hope in the distance.
That's fair. We've talked about some of these games on the list, but I'm just going to list titles. I'm not going to talk about them. But the games I played this year, there were a lot. I think I've listed all the indie ones here because I want those to be highlighted. But these are the games I played this year that I really enjoyed. If you're not hearing a certain couple of AAA games that I played are not on this list. They're not on this list because I didn't enjoy them nearly as much as these. But anyway, that's Spilled, Ghost of Yote, Quantum Witch, Quality Dreams reasonably priced, Misk: A Tiny Tale, Matchmaker Dungeon Heart, 3 Days to Chicago, Fear the Spotlight, Scarlet Hollow Early Access, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, and Kirby Air Riders. I did talk about all of these on the podcast at one point or another this year. I'm sure if you go on Google or you go into any of the apps that you do and do a search for any of those game names, you can find the episodes where I talked about them. I try to make sure I included the name somewhere in the description. And some of those are like the highlight episode. Like that's like there's a whole episodes on Quantum Witch, for example. But anyway, that is all the time we have. We're going to go in the order that we went for the episode. Amy, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky, YouTube, and Twitch at Ekamy. There's a couple variations where I have an underscore before and after the end of my name.
Zoe.
So the only social media I'm really on is Blue Sky. I'm Zoe Leet, Zoeleet. But I don't post much. Like again, I'm not like an influencer or whatever. I'm not as cool as y'all, but yeah, that's me.
Lloyd.
Lloyd_Lloydster on YouTube and Twitch, and Lloydster on TikTok and Blue Sky. I'm on a few other things, but those are my big ones.
For anyone who didn't understand what Lloyd just said, it's Lloyd_Lloydster or Lloyd.
I'm gonna leave.
You're all just giving me an excuse to watch Lego Ninjago. I need to watch that movie.
Wait, Lego Ninjago?
That's what Lloyd is from.
Yeah.
That's what the Lloyd joke is from. It's
from the Lego movie.
No, it's from Ninjago, the first and second movie.
I've never seen Ninjago and I know that joke. There's no
also,
way
I think
they're not in the
sure?
first and second movie. Yeah, I know them. Yeah.
It's a Lego movie.
It's Ninjago. I'm pretty sure
weird 6 degrees of separation thing, but I think at Unity Day I ran into a VFX artist who said that they worked on Lego Ninjago.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
I haven't seen the movie. I just know it looks like
I didn't know it was a
I think
thing.
you're right. This is all coming back to me now. I think this is why I didn't
am
watch
I
it.
right? I'm kidding.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways.
Get your hits in. Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah, I was bullied at the start. I have to get something in.
That's true. Yeah, shots have been fired back. Anyway, that is our queer in review for 2025. So thank you all for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2026, except for Lloyd, who's cursed to do the next episode in 2 days with me.
Thank you. Thank you
Amy's
for having us.
free now, though, so she's, all set. And that just about wraps up this week's show. Thanks, True Avatars, for joining me for another episode of your Queer Video Game Podcast. By listening to the show, you are supporting queer-made content, which is more important than ever. If you want to support True Avatars, it would be really great if you could leave a comment, rating, or review on your preferred podcast platform. You can follow the show on Blue Sky, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube under the handle @TrueAvatars, all one word, and on Facebook and Instagram under True Avatars. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so you can be the first to know when new content drops. I welcome you to check out the official website, trueavatarspodcast.com. That's all one word, trueavatarspodcast.com. On the website, you can sign up for the newsletter, where you can get exclusive news and updates on the show. Bye, True Avatars. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking with you all again next week. Take care and stay safe.